Hey, what's up, guys? Sir Emanon here, and yep, you read the title correctly. I played freaking penguins at my locals today. Alright, so a bit of context here. I've always enjoyed penguins. I like them as animals ever since I was little. They're just my favorites. I still love them to this day, as you could probably tell by my channel banner and icon and everything like that. When I got back into the game, I found out that they were penguin cards, and I'm like, hey, cool, let's go read these. And then I read them, and then I was struck by disappointment as they are just terrible. They're garbage. So it's been a little bit of a pet project of mine to try and make them as good as possible. And for additional context on my Twitter, which you guys should be following if you haven't already, it's in the description. I said if this tweet gets 100 likes, I will play Penguins at my next regional by the end of 2019. And that tweet got 100 likes in less than 24 hours. So here I am testing at my locals to try and figure out how the heck to make this deck work. So yeah, we went 2-2 at locals, which I guess is a start. People wanted me to play Link Spam. I also put up a poll on Twitter, but yeah, that deck just bricks and it's terrible. So I'm playing a control variant. It's not really a stun deck, but I mean it's like it plays a lot of traps. So I mean it's control at its finest. And just a couple of other quick announcements before we get into it. Obviously, leave suggestions if you have any ideas as to how to make this better. But keep it on brand. Obviously, what else? Oh yeah, I'm reaching 1,000 subs really, 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 really fast, and I don't really have a great video plan for it. All I have is a Q&A. I'm sorry, it's not really the most exciting thing. But if you want to ask me questions, leave them in the comment section down below, or go ahead and head over to my Twitter or my Discord, which is also in the description. I have segments for each of those social media platforms where you can submit your questions to me there, and I will answer them. I also have a very, very exciting announcement in that video, but I'm not going to spoil anything right now. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into this garbage deck. So the main deck was 41. I kind of just threw it together at locals literally like 5 minutes before the event. I was like testing it out with a couple of builds, but I didn't have anything put together until I like scrounged together the cards that I had. All right, so I played 3 Penguin Soldier, the OG bounce 2. He's there. He's like your win condition. Like the biggest problem with this deck is, besides the fact that it's awful, is that it doesn't apply any offensive pressure whatsoever. So you're always struggling for damage, and 750 like just repeatedly swinging is not really gonna get you there, but you kind of have to try and make it work. And then we play the 3 copies of No Penguin. This guy is a recurable body. Whenever you activate a penguin monster effect, he just brings himself back from the grave. And then whenever a penguin effect would bounce a card to the hand, this guy causes him to be banished instead. So like basically if he's in grave and like the penguin gets flipped, you go chain link 1 to bounce stuff, chain link 2. It's a mandatory trigger, so you get the chain block. And yeah, it basically, he says no. That's what he does. Then we played 3 Nightmare Penguin. This guy just bounces any card in the field, and that is mandatory. So yeah, he gives your guys 200 extra attack too, which I mean is like whatever. So yeah, these are like your main bodies. And then I played 1 copy of PD Penguin. The only reason I played this was because of a dumb little card that I played in the trap lineup. But like he's there to link climb. Basically, if he's ever flipped up and then he goes to the grave at any other point, you target a penguin in your grave and special it either in face-up attack or face-on defense. So like the idea is to link climb, and that's about it. So yeah, I am like back and forth on the swap frog engine, like 3 swap and 1 run totem. So I played like a card demise build, and I felt like that kind of conflicted, but I also like missed having Toad, which is like the main way you apply pressure. But yeah, that's like one of the changes I would consider making for sure. 3 Paw Desires for the spells, 3 card demise, like I said, 2 duality, upstart foolish. So yeah, I mean this deck just needs all the draw power it can get. I didn't run extravagance. I don't own that card actually, but even still, I wanted to play card demise anyway, and I just wanted to have as many options as I could to draw as many cards in any given turn. Foolish is there for No Penguin, and then it's literally just consistency cards. So I don't think I need to explain too much here. Like the problem with building this deck is like you have to build around the draw cards. Like if you build extravagance, you have to be pretty careful with how you utilize your extra deck. Like you can't be too reliant on it. And you also can't really use other draw cards. But if you play Demise, then like you're kind of limited in your turn one options with like making Toad. So like that's kind of like the biggest dilemma that I have going on here is that I don't know what I prioritize more. Like if I prioritize Toad or just drawing as many traps as I could. But whenever I drew Demise and resolved it, it was nice, obviously. And then there's 20 traps. There's 10 monsters, 10 spells, 21 traps. Sorry, it was 41 cards. Three impermanents is the only hand trap. Obviously, I'm playing Demise, so couldn't really mean anything else. But triple strike, triple judgment. Yeah, the deck just kind of is hurting for negation. Like penguins don't really do anything, so like you kind of need cards that actually are reactive. And then three Olinoids. Yeah, this card is another way to make Toad. I was playing around with like Canadia. I cut it just to play other cards. I might put it back in though. Like I also want to play more Paleozoics, specifically Dynamiscus too. But Dynamiscus conflicts with Cardomize again, so it's like, But these help make Toad, and they're just generically good cards. So that was pretty good. I played double Crackdown, double Compulse, just like more variants, like more like a higher variety of traps. I feel is like pretty important. Like you want diversity in your trap lineup. So that's it for the traps that you guys have read before. Now for the traps that you guys haven't read before. Lots of you, for some reason, like to read obscure cards. So I played three World Legacy Pawns. This is actually a crawler support card. So what this does is you target a face down monster on your field and change it to face up the attack or defense position. And then if you have a crawler in your graveyard, you can also shuffle it back to flip something back face down, but we're not using that. So obviously you can trigger this during either turn because it's a trap effect, but yeah, it's basically a way to be able to proactively use your penguins. I'd probably cut this down to two. It clogged a lot, and like if you don't see your monsters, then it's literally just a dead card. But it's nice to have a continuous effect, I suppose, just to have chill in there. And then I played two Set Uppercut. This is a new card from Rising Rampage. It says when a monster is destroyed by battle, you can flip it, and then it summons a guy from your deck, any monster from your deck with less attack than the destroyed monster, and it puts it in face down defense. So you can see where this is going. You just put penguins down, and it's the card I was talking about with Puny Penguin. Like if your penguins get destroyed, you put Puny Penguin down, you flip it up, you link climb with it, and you get like no penguin triggers. So it's like a way to climb into Borosword in theory, but that never happened, surprisingly enough. Definitely cutting this card. This card really just is a do nothing card. It requires your opponent to attack you, and it requires you like to be in a position where you can actually make use out of it, which you can't always do. All right, the extra deck is I didn't really use this that much, but yeah, it's kind of just there. So we got two copies of Toad. Pretty much, this should be a three, but I actually don't own a third at the moment. I moved it a while back and I just didn't pick it back up. Should be three, but it's like one of the only things you ever make, and it's like how you recycle your stuff. Link Rebo for the Puny Penguin, Link Spider for Paleozoics. Got two Mistar Boy. The other only thing you make, just to like clear monsters so that when it gets destroyed, you can like add stuff back too. Like these are more so for the recursion actually. Like obviously Toad is really good for what it does, but like you want recursion so that you can like reuse your penguins. That's like the entire idea. Underclock, just a generic Stealing 2. I don't own Lambda or Beat Cop, should be one of those instead, but yeah. Nightmares, Phoenix Cerberus, and a Unicorn. Yeah. Borosword, which, would be great if I could make it, but, I can't, so. Like, I theoretically could, but it's just so hard to. And then the last cards are all Super Poly targets because I cited Super Poly. So, Mud Dragon, Violet Chimera, Venom, and Rigorous Apelia. There is the new Predaplant. The other guy, I don't know how to pronounce it. But that's also a decent inclusion. I figure that since, the extra deck isn't really hurting for utility because I, like, never go into it, I could just pack with all the Super Poly targets I want. And that'd be cool. So, side is kind of just out there. It was kind of thrown together, and I would make some changes to it for sure. So staple I think is 3 Lancia. I think that should be in almost everyone's side deck. I played 3 Ogre just because I wanted like more hand traps for like combo decks, but It should probably just be Nibiru instead, since I'm not like maining any other Hound Traps. Um, 3 Super Poly, like I mentioned, just to break boards. 3 Storm Duster for control matchups. This could be arguably main deck worthy. And then 3 Evenly Matched, also for control matchups. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of just like a control deck, but playing worse cards because you're playing Penguin cards. And I don't know. There's not a whole lot to explain here, but this is like the rough draft, and I don't foresee myself going towards a like non-control deck because that's kind of the only way I feel like this deck can actually even do anything at all. So apologies for those guys who want to see Link spam, but that probably just isn't happening. But anyways, regardless, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like if you did, as well as any comments or feedback that you might have on or thoughts in the video in the comment section down below. If you want to, you can follow me on Discord, Twitter, or Twitch. I invite you to join those. All 3 links in the description below. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to see videos, maybe not as similar to this one, actually. I don't intend on playing, Penguins that much, but I also just realized my lighting is bad, but I didn't fix it. But, whatever. We're just gonna go with it. Feel free to subscribe for more videos in terms of like analysis, maybe not so similar to this one, but feel free to subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, guys, I will catch you in the next video. See you guys.